How do you know if it's the right time in your business to start running Facebook ads? Well, in this video, I'm going to go through some important questions to ask before you even think about using Facebook ads so that you know if right now is the best time for you to use Facebook ads. And just so you know, these questions that I go through in this video, you can use it not just for Facebook ads, but you can also use it for Google ads or any other type of paid advertising. So let's get started with the first question. The first question is, do you already have a proof of concept? Now you might be wondering, what is a proof of concept? Well, a proof of concept is when clients have already paid you money for the services that you provide. And this shows that there are people that are willing to buy and they're actually genuinely interested in what you sell. Now, if you don't yet have a proof of concept, what could happen if you start running Facebook ads is that you could generate a lot of leads. You could even generate a lot of sales appointments. But when you get to the stage of converting these appointments into clients, maybe no one actually buys what it is that you're selling, because maybe what you're talking about or maybe the services that you offer are just not that interesting to people. Maybe it's not a big enough problem that you solve for people, and it's not a big enough problem where they'd be willing to spend money to purchase this service. Or it could be maybe that your pricing is a little off, or maybe it could be that the way that you position your offer, again, isn't quite right. So having a proof of concept and making sure that you already have a few clients that have already paid for what you do, the services that you offer in the past, is really important before you start scaling everything up and using Facebook ads. And this actually brings me to the second question that you need to ask yourself before you're running Facebook ads. And that is, do you solve a really big, painful problem for your clients? Now, there are a lot of variables when it comes to running Facebook ads that could affect your results. But one of the biggest things that I've seen affects your results is your messaging, is what you actually say on your ads and on your landing pages and throughout your whole funnel. So what you really need to do is not just solve a big painful problem for your clients. And when I say a big painful problem, I mean a problem that is so big that people will actually pay money for you to fix or solve this problem that they have. But more than that, because most people just talk about solving a big painful problem, but more than that, you need to also communicate how you solve this big painful problem for your clients. And you need to communicate how you solve this problem using the language that your clients or your potential clients use. So in other words, you need to describe the problem that you solve using the same words and phrases that your potential clients would use when they're describing the problem to you, maybe on the phone. So that's why making sure that you solve a big painful problem for your clients is so important before you start running Facebook ads. And this second question is also very closely linked to the first question, which is, do you have a proof of concept? And then the third and final question that you can ask before running Facebook ads is, do you have a decent sized budget for running Facebook ads? Because here's the thing, with Facebook ads, you do need to spend quite a bit of money in testing in the beginning before you really know for 100% certainty what works and what doesn't work. Now, when it comes to choosing the right budget for Facebook ads, really you can choose pretty much any budget that you like. However, here's a big warning, or a big thing to just keep in the back of your mind. Remember that the more you spend, the more you can test. And then that means the more likely you are to find the right Facebook ads combination. The right combination, like I mentioned, of ads, audiences, messages, angles, all that kind of stuff that actually gets conversions and gets you a good return on investment. So sometimes you could maybe spend $1,000, and I would really recommend $1,000 as the minimum that you should be spending on Facebook to test, but ideally, a fair amount more than that. But really, as a minimum, you could spend, let's say, $1,000, and you could find in that $1,000 the right combination that gets you a good return on your investment. However, again, the chances are much higher if you spend more money, let's say $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 or more on Facebook ads, that chances will be much higher that you find that winning combination. So you need to make sure that you have a decent sized budget that you can use for testing to make sure that you find the winning Facebook ad combination for you and your business so that you can start getting a good return on investment. Now, if you don't yet have a decent sized budget that you can use for testing your Facebook ads, does that mean you can't generate any leads? Well, no, not at all. In fact, what you can do is you can still generate leads, but you can use organic lead generation strategies, which are low cost or free ways to generate leads and generate appointments and generate clients. And you can do this without spending any money on paid ads. Now, yes, doing things organically does take a little bit more time than Facebook ads. With Facebook ads, you can get results very, very quickly. But because of that, you have to spend money on ads so that you can get these quick results. So if you don't have the money to invest as of right now, because maybe right now it just might not be the right time in your business, there are still other ways you can generate leads. You could, for example, use LinkedIn. You could also use Google SEO, so not paid ads, but the SEO side of Google, which can be very powerful. You could even use YouTube SEO, so just ranking your videos at the top of YouTube and Google as a way for you to get more clients. So there's a lot of options available to you. These are just a few options, but there's a lot more options available for you when it comes to generating leads organically. Now, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the strategy that I use to generate leads organically on Google using SEO and also on LinkedIn, and if you want to learn how to also scale things up using Facebook ads, then I recommend that you sign up to the free masterclass training that I've recorded that just goes through in a little bit more detail about how the strategy actually works. And there'll be a link somewhere on this video, probably below the video or in the description, where you can sign up for that video. But either way, make sure that you have a decent sized budget before you start running Facebook ads. Otherwise, you might spend, let's say you spend $1,000, and if you have $1,000 and you need this to be successful with that $1,000 and then it's not, then you've kind of just wasted $1,000 because you haven't found that right Facebook ad combination that gets you good results. And if you don't have more money to keep testing, you're not going to be able to do anything about that because you've just spent that $1,000 and that's it. You haven't got any good results. So you need to be able to have a decent sized budget where you can keep testing in order for you to get good results. Now, for most of my clients, we can get results spending anywhere from, I'd say on the low end, about $1,000, and then on the high end, about $6,000. That's usually the average in terms of how much you need to spend to actually find that winning Facebook ad combination. Now, sometimes in rare cases, we might get clients that need to spend a little bit more than that to get some good results in some industries. And in other industries, we've managed to get results spending even less than $1,000. So it really just depends on a client by client basis. But I just want you to keep that in your mind, in the back of your mind, that you do need to spend usually a few $1,000s to test what works. And then when you find what works, then you can focus all your budget on those ads that work really well. You can start to scale things up, and then you can generate as many leads as you like, pretty much on demand. It just depends on your budget and also your availability to have appointments with people so that you can start growing your business even more. So the upside of using Facebook ads is huge once you get it working, but it does take a little bit of an investment before you get it working. So hopefully this video helps you ask a few questions before you're running Facebook ads to make sure that you're running Facebook ads when it's the right time for you and your business so that you can get the best results and the best return on investment. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.